Hello, everybody. Wolfgang here. Today is Thursday, June 19th. Make sure I get my dates right. Hope we're all doing good. We survived the storm last night. It wasn't too bad. We had a good downpour. Some good claps of thunder. But it wasn't... I don't know. Like I said, I like storms. It was just a mediocre storm. So what's new? Let me know. Leave a comment. Anything new going on? Anything at all. I don't care what it is. New underwear, new t-shirt, new socks, new bra. Oh, shoot. So today's spam report, I'm actually going to play a video. I usually don't do that. I think I've did it a couple of times. But the reason I found this really interesting, I kind of had the concept of how the bunker buster bomb works. But the way this guy explains it, I was like, wow. And we may or may not have already used it on Iran. So let's just let me share the video. Be patient. Work with me, people. Let's hope this works.
Street Journal is reporting that President Trump privately has approved an attack plan for Iran, but has not yet given the final order. Will the U.S. get involved? Should we get involved? And what would it look like? David Burke, retired Lieutenant Colonel, is a Top Gun instructor and Marine Corps officer. David, great to see you. Colonel, you have some experience here. Although we've never dropped this 30,000-pound bomb, what could it do?
Yeah, this would be the first drop in combat, but we are very familiar, a lot of testing with this bomb. This is a massive weapon designed to penetrate deep underground, hardened targets, well-protected targets like the one you're discussing, and take them out.
So you say it's probably, even though we have some options, if you could take a look at this full screen, we're going to use the B-2, and we're going to have, is it going to be one 30,000 bomb per fighter jet?
Each B-2 can carry two. It wouldn't surprise me if you had a single drop from an aircraft, but it can carry two.
I think you were telling me yesterday that the first one penetrates down, and the second one will go into the hole.
Right there.
Yeah, that's a likely scenario. Having multiple bombs is probably going to be required for this situation. Absolutely right. You got it.
So, okay, so let's advance. Oh, okay, I can advance myself. I did not know that. You think it's going to hit on an angle, but yet it's going to glide. You said
Right
that this is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be the
From
World War
sky
II,
and
open up
fall.
the hatch and it falls to the ground. Describe how it's going to penetrate.
Yeah, this is a smart weapon. Has a GPS antenna in the nose. It has a really good guidance system to get exactly where it wants to be. And this is a massive bomb, Brian. It's 30,000 pounds. Now, not a lot of explosive, but a lot of weapon itself to penetrate into the ground. And that first bomb is going to hit the target, dig deep into the ground, and then detonate.
Colonel, so take a look at this. This, I imagine, is an animation of the bomb going deep. This would be the first one in that scenario. Would the second one know exactly how to get into the hole the first one leaves behind?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough problem. The way you're describing it is exactly right. It's a very difficult scenario, but that, as you're describing it, is exactly what the intent would be, is put that second bomb right through the hole of the first penetration, get deeper into that target, and do even more damage with the second weapon.
So, Colonel, what you said is it'll penetrate about 200 feet. So it goes about 200 feet, but there's about 300 feet of concrete it's got to get through, let alone what the mountain challenges have. So the first one gets through. What's the second one look like?
The second one looks very similar in terms of the glide path. And the way you're describing it, this is what we call weaponeering. This is the professionals thinking about how deep is this target? How deep does the bomb have to go? How many weapons does it need? What's the angle? All those things you're describing is exactly right. This is the problem that they're addressing. And that second bomb, in a perfect world, goes right through the initial hole that the first bomb created and penetrates even deeper into the target to do the damage that's needed.
So where's it coming from? I understand they're not going to be deployed in theater. It's probably going to be coming from the U.S. Wouldn't work for us to tell us exactly where. but one would go get refueled midair. They're probably that situation's in place right now. How many fighter jets you think? How many B-2s you think we'll need?
Yeah, I would not be surprised if you had multiple B-2s. The great thing about that aircraft, this is a remarkable machine. I think the longest B-2 flight is something like 44 hours. So
Damn.
our ability to launch from the United States, if we choose to, or a forward deployed base, getting the target and back is absolutely in the wheelhouse of the capability of this aircraft. And I would expect to see multiple aircraft on this mission.
For a guy that knows how to do these flights, what's the challenge for the pilot?
Listen, there's a lot of challenges. Obviously, anytime you take an American aircraft, American air crew, American systems, and fly into enemy territory, there is risk. The great thing about these B-2 crews, they've been practicing and preparing for this their entire careers. They are more than capable of doing this. This is things they've prepared and trained for. So once the mission starts, they're focused on that. There are certainly risks associated with the mission itself, but these are highly trained, highly capable people that are more than ready to do this.
And just by the way, you told me off camera that it's not something you get the Israelis trained up on quickly. It'll have to be an American pilot. And by the way, it doesn't detonate when it just hits the surface. We decide when it detonates. Colonel, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Great being here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for what you do, and thanks for your expertise.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
All right. Come on. Work with me. So there you go. They explained how they're going to use it. And it sounds like they're going to have to use 2. But I saw this clip at lunchtime, and the way my brain works, and they're showing the diagram how the first bomb hits the ground, makes the hole, goes 200 feet deep, explodes, but there's a second one following to go right into the same hole. It reminded me of Star Wars. The very first Star Wars, where Luke Skywalker has to shoot the photon beam or whatever the fuck it was at the Death Star, and he's got to make it in that little hole. And he's like, "Oh, I can do that. I shot whatever it was on Teuton, the planet he was from." But yeah, that's what especially the second missile coming in, he's got to penetrate or go into the same hole. But they said these are also guided. They're GPS. So all they got to do is put their grid coordinates in and let it do its thing. But I found that interesting. Now, on top of it, if they're saying all this, I wouldn't be surprised if we haven't already did it and it'll come out in a couple of days that we did, or they are going to go ahead and do this. Is it going to cause bigger problems? I don't know. There's all kinds of people out there saying, "Oh, WW3, blah, 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 blah." We don't know. We don't know what the hell is going to happen because it's the government. They're not going to tell us because we're just peons. But little common sense, little bit of military background, and there's a lot of military folks out there, and listening to Trump talk, I think it may happen. The aircraft carriers and the refueling planes, everything that's being sent over there, we're involved. They can say, "Oh, America's not." We're involved. We were involved from the get-go, I think. So don't let the media and the government fool you. Anyway, this is Wolfgang. Have a great thirsty Thursday. Blessed be. Stay safe, and I'll bullshit with y'all later. Bye.